The leader of South Africa, the person you see on the screen, says that Trump also showed a video in which he said that genocide is being committed against white farmers and white Africans in your country. He also showed the unproven allegations on Barcovision, and this man must have been speechless. What happened then? What did he answer? What kind of a dialogue took place?
Indeed, foreign leaders going to the White House now have to be vigilant, because not one but two of these cases have now come. Who are we talking about? The leader of South Korea, Cyril Ramaphosa, was actually prepared because before, since his first term, Trump has been saying that there is discrimination, even persecution, even genocide against whites in the White House, in South Africa. But it has come to such a point that it is said, Ramaphosa has also been Zelensky'd. Just like before, the US president ambushed his guest in the White House and put him in a difficult situation. He attacked him in front of the cameras, in front of a live broadcast that the world was watching.
Can I ask you something? Who wants him to be in front of the cameras? Is he proposing it himself? I mean, we don't know that, but why is he there? And now, who organized this?
Whose idea was this? Was it Trump's idea or Elon Musk's? I'll come to that because it's all intertwined.
Is that what you think? It's really a mise-en-scène? That's what I thought Zelensky was? Yes, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand why, for example, after the Zelensky incident, why this gentleman chose to be alone with Trump in front of the cameras.
The usual procedure for any normal visit. What happens? Sitting in the White House, the foreign guest and the host in front of the cameras, taking questions from journalists, then a closed meeting. This is very standard. But what takes this out of the standard is Trump's behavior. Because he came with photographs and newspaper articles, and he had his guest prepared to be loaded, and he had a video prepared. He even said to turn off the lights so that the video could come in. So it was a complete theater. Even the lights were turned off and the show started. And what kind of video was shown to the South African leader? It's a video of Africans, black Africans, singing a song in which they say, "Kill the Boyers," that is, kill the white Africans. And then in that video, we see white crosses on the grass. According to Trump's claim, those crosses symbolize the graves of white farmers who were killed, but there is no such cemetery. That was just taken from a protest. So the images are completely unrealistic. What did the South African leader do in the face of this? He gave an incredible performance. Maybe he spoiled Trump's game and prevented him from achieving his goal. Because first of all, he kept his calm, he kept his cool. He did not raise his voice. In other words, he gave such a difficult diplomatic test that he would not argue with Trump and at the same time would not accept such a genocide accusation. It is stated that he succeeded because he said, "Where were these images taken, Mr. President? Don't you know about it in South Africa?" And when Trump replied, he said, "I don't know about it. There is no such thing." And this is not a government policy. This is a very minority group. And as a matter of democracy, we have to give political representation to those who think like this. And Mandela taught us that if there is a problem, let's discuss it. You know, like two civilized people and leaders. He took it so well, and he took Trump's attacks in his chest. So why do you think Trump is bringing racism back to the table with something like this? Yes, it's actually a bit of a show for Trump's own constituency, because the vast majority of Trump's votes come from white people. And Trump's biggest achievement as a leader is to keep the anger of his electorate alive and to be the megaphone for it, to voice it. Whites are subjected to racism not only in America but also in South Africa. They want to take away land from whites. They even say that white people are being killed, that they are being subjected to genocide. So let's see if this is really the case. Look, only 7% of South Africa's population is white. But 3/4 of the land in South Africa is in white hands. In other words, the apartheid era ended in South Africa in 1994. But the discrimination, inequality, land ownership, inequality that favored whites from that period continues. So here, it is still black people who are discriminated against. On the other hand, they look at it from the other side. Yes, there is a very serious crime rate in South Africa. There is a murder rate. But even proportionally and numerically, blacks are still the bigger victims. So there is nothing that can be called a genocide against whites. So Trump still wanted to send a message to his own electorate that I am defending you, I am the protector and defender of white people.
And what does he want from Ramaphosa? I mean, where does this image overlap with the case against Israel? Yes, it does. Another dimension is this.
Because experts in South Africa also say this. In fact, it is both a play for his own electorate, that is, for the whites, to play to the grandstands, and to avenge Israel, because South Africa is a very special country on the Palestinian issue. It was the country that took the crimes of Israel's massacres in Gaza to the Inter-Russian Court of Justice with the accusation of genocide. It was the country that sued Israel for genocide, and this case continues. This, of course, is not in line with Trump's Israel policy, and that you are committing genocide, which is really seen in South Africa as a slap in the face, even as a very annoying joke, because it's a slap in the face to South Africans, especially. And when you say this to South Africans, one of the countries that suffered the heaviest burden of colonialism, you open another wound in their conscience, a deeper scar in that wound that has never closed, which is really the case when we look at the reactions. But when we think about the Israeli dimension, it is understandable that Trump would say this to such a country when we add this dimension to his white supremacist view. There is also the Elon Musk dimension. You know that Elon Musk is from South Africa. He is the richest person in the world, and Trump actually let it slip. Elon Musk was also watching this debate. He was in the White House at this time. He said Elon Musk asked for it. On social media, Elon Musk constantly talks about the persecution, genocide, and violence against whites in South Africa. And maybe this whole theater that we are watching, Elon Musk was also behind the South African leader's attack. But unlike the Zelensky scenario, Trump attacked alone. Neither J.D. Vance was involved, nor Elon Musk. They kept silent. But a great lesson in diplomacy. Indeed, Ramaphosa was well prepared and managed well. Staying calm is a great weapon. Secondly, he hit Trump in his weak spot. You know who he took with him? He took 2 champion ex-golfers from South Africa. And he took a very rich white South African billionaire. And then they actually said, if there was genocide against white people in my country, how did they become so rich and successful? Look, the billionaire, the richest man in the world, Trump's favorite thing. Did you know then?
That he would come out with this claim, with this video, not Trump's reality.
He's been waiting because this is something that Trump has been talking about since his first term. You know what? America is accepting refugees from South Africa. White refugees, persecuted refugees. It even hired private planes, Boeing, to take them, white ones, I emphasize. So Ramaphosa knew that South Africa would face something like this. And he was probably prepared. I think every world leader should think about the possibility of facing such a situation before going to the White House and prepare accordingly.
I absolutely agree with you.